and so amazing. Oh, good. Okay. That's awesome. All right. Hello, everyone. Like Miss Rachel said, my name is Annie. I am a magician. And by the end of this class, you will be a magician too. I am one of the head magicians at School of Magic Arts, which is a real school, a real magic school, a stage magic school that's headquartered here in Baltimore, Maryland. We are the only school like it in the whole world, a 365 a day a year stage magic school. If you really like stage magic, I'm seeing a couple of my students even here in our class tonight. Hi, Tessa, who I worked at Hampstead Hill Academy with. I'm really excited. I see Elia also, who I am really excited to see that some of you guys have joined tonight. And if you are joining because you took a class with us before, I have really good news for you because we are teaching an effect tonight. I'm teaching an effect that I have never taught before. I've never taught any student before. So this is going to be a really fun class. So even if you have come from other classes, you are going to learn something new tonight, which is really, really cool. I'd also like to introduce, because he just popped in, that's Brian Kehoe down in that beautiful floral bow tie. He is the other head magician at School of Magic Arts. If you really love this class, he's going to do a class on card magic tomorrow at noon, which is going to be also really cool. And if you really hate this class, take Brian's class and maybe you would like it better, right? So either way, come to Brian's class tomorrow at noon. That's also sponsored by Creative Alliance. And you can find that information on their website, which is really awesome. We are doing a mentalism class tonight. Mentalism. So I am a mentalist. What the heck is that? What does it mean? Well, mentalism is a branch of stage magic that is very different and very cool. A mentalist, right, or a stage magician who says they're a mentalist, they mean that they have magic powers that let them use their brain in a different way than normal human beings. So they say, well, I can use my brain to do things like predict the future, right? Or control your mind, or move objects with my mind, telekinesis, or do seemingly impossible mathematical feats. Those are all mentalism skills, and those are the types of things that I do in my magic, right? Now, does my brain really work differently than other people's? Maybe, probably, right? All of our brains work different ways, but what I really do is I use the secrets of stage magic to make my audience believe that I can do these supernatural things. The secret in magic is the most important thing. And you are taking a class in magic tonight. That means I'm going to trust you to keep the secret, okay? The minute you blow the secret, your audience can't look at your magic the same way again. All right, so you have to really make sure that you're trying to keep your secrets. See, you guys are here because you like secrets, all right? And you want to know about the secrets of magic. At School of Magic Arts, we say our audience gets the magic, right? But we get the secret. The audience gets the magic, we get the secret. That's the trade-off, right? Once you know the secret, you can't ever experience the magic quite the same way again. Right? So I'm going to ask you to keep these secrets tonight. If you are comfortable coming off or coming onto your camera, that is fine, right? I love to see your beautiful faces here with us. And I will definitely be asking for volunteers. And if you'd like to volunteer for me or for each other, all you have to do is raise your hand and I will call on someone by the name that's on your Zoom screen. Okay, so make sure if it's not your name on the screen, if you're using someone else's, you know which name is on that screen. Okay, so tonight for our class, if you're following along, you don't have to be on camera. You can just be following along at home. That's okay too. I'm going to present it so that you can follow me if you are choosing to do that. Okay, but the first thing we're going to do in our class tonight is we're just going to do a really short magic stretch, okay? And we do this before every magic class at School of Magic Arts because we're about to use our hands in ways that are a little unfamiliar to us. So go ahead and stretch out your hands, get that blood moving into your hands, okay? And my students that are here from schools that I've taught at, they know about the stretches. Make sure your hands are warm. It's really cold outside today. Our muscles and our bones are not really warm, okay? And we're about, again, to use our hands in ways that we don't usually. As a magician, my hands are my life, and I take really good care of them, or I try. Right? So I always try to stretch them, make sure that you can feel all the little capillaries and different things going on in your hands. Your hands are a miracle. Your hands are different than any other animals on this earth, and they allow you to do some pretty incredible things. Your hands plus your big brain makes you unstoppable, okay, as an animal. So go ahead and do a little stretch for your hands. Okay, fantastic. So tonight for our class, we will need the following items. We're going to need a couple of rubber bands. It doesn't really matter what your rubber bands look like. Mine are colorful so that you can see them better on camera against my black clothing, but it doesn't really matter what they look like. I know Brian's comes off, he likes the ones that come off of bunches of asparagus. That's really good. Okay, and besides just your rubber bands, you will need a deck of cards. Why? Because this is not a card class. Well, we are going to divine some things about our cards, which is going to be really cool. So you will need a deck of cards. They don't have to look exactly like mine, just as long as they are pretty much a standard deck of cards. You'll need a pen and something to write with. I like little pads or something like this, Post-it notes. And you're going to need 4 random objects, okay? As long as they're kind of, you know, different from each other. So if you're going to use a coin, only use 1 coin. Here I have a candle, a length of rope, a ball, and a pepper shaker. Those are very different for my audience so that they can tell which ones are which. And that's what you're going to need, I think, tonight, okay? So we're going to start out with kind of a non-mentalism effect. This one just it's a warm-up. It gets our brains ready to do magic. If you have done class with me before or with Brian, you're going to recognize this effect. So just hang in there. But you're going to also be an expert at this effect, which is pretty cool. I know Tessa can do this one cold, okay? So this one is called the jumping rubber band. Now, with every effect that we do at School of Magic Arts, the magician, the head or lead magician, will perform it first, and then we're going to teach you how it's done. So we're going to perform it for you, and then we're going to teach you how it works. At the end of class, if we have a little time, I might even take people who want to do it and have them perform a little bit for us. We'll see how much time we have. So for this effect, we do have a rubber band. Mine is, you know what, let me use my green one. I think that's a little easier to see. Mine is green. It's kind of a teal green color, and you can see that it's sitting on my 2 fingers just like this, okay? It's sitting here. It's a rubber band. It has all the characteristics you would expect a rubber band to have. It's stretchy, but if you stretch it too far, it would break. You can see there it's on the front of my fingers, just like that, okay? But this seemingly totally ordinary rubber band actually has a secret in and of itself. It can jump through living objects. Jump through living objects. It's amazing. And the living object it's going to jump through tonight is my fingers. So it's going to jump through my fingers and end up on these 2 on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And it jumps right over there. And if you didn't see it, there it is from the back, just again. If you didn't see it do that, I'm going to do it again. It can jump back. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Jump straight through my fingers. Okay? Now this is a fun little effect to warm you up, and we're going to talk about how this one works. So go ahead, everybody, get your rubber band on these 2 fingers, the fingers that you would use to make a peace sign or give bunny ears to someone in a picture, right? Used to do that with my sister all the time. Get this one right there and let it rest on your knuckles. Don't put it like up here or do anything weird to it. Let it rest right on your knuckles. Now open your whole hand like you're going to give someone a high five. Okay. So all of this talking and stretching the rubber band out that I was doing, that's something called magician's patter. Patter is when a magician continues to talk to distract you from something that's happening that they're doing. In this case, I have to stretch the rubber band out because I need to do the secret move. So I'm pattering, I'm talking, I'm stretching it, but really I'm waiting to turn my hand all the way around so that it's facing me. So I'm stretching the rubber band towards my face. And when I do that, I'm going to put all 4 fingers down inside of the rubber band. Once again, I've stretched it out, putting all 4 fingers down inside the rubber band so that it's resting against my knuckles, just like this. So show me this. If you have your camera on, go ahead and show me this move. This is the secret move. Because it's secret, you don't want anybody to see it. So keep it kind of close to your body and make sure nobody's standing in a way that's going to be seeing this secret move. From here, what happens, all you have to do, okay, is open your hand wide and trust. And it jumps, right? Now, if it didn't work for you, that's okay. Let me explain what's really happening, and then it might be easier. All that's really happening is the rubber band is rolling down on the back of your hand to end up on this side. So it feels a little, so at first, sometimes what people want to do is pull their fingers out of the rubber band. That's not what's going on. You have to let it roll over the back, okay? Sometimes that's a little bit helpful. Hi, Elia, I see you too. All right, so once again, let's watch it again for the secret. Here's my rubber band. I'm going to turn my hand around, right? And on the count of 3, it is going to jump. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and everyone open their hand up wide. Good. And it will jump to the other side, okay? Again, all you have to do is put all 4 fingers down there inside the rubber band, but make sure that's close to you. That's your secret. And then it jumps. Now, why do we have this other rubber band here? Well, you can do it, and I saw a question in the chat saying, can I double up my rubber band? Of course, it'll still work, right? Same thing, it's the same move. But as Elia Parr is demonstrating there, you can also use it for something that magicians call a convincer. A convincer is something that convinces your audience a little extra. In this case, I can put the rubber band on the tops of my fingers, just like this, and I can tell my audience that that locks the rubber band in place on my hand, okay? This is a little extra convincer. Sometimes with your audience, they can be like, well, what if it's just flying over the top or something? And you can say, oh no, I'm gonna lock it onto my hand just like this. I've kind of twisted the rubber band, or if that's too hard, you can just put it over your fingers like that, right? And lock it in, okay? And then it works the exact same way. This is crazy. This is kind of like science, right? You're still putting your fingers down inside. Just have to be careful not to dislodge anything, but it still works just fine because all that's really happening is it's doing this, right? So that's not really locking anything in place, but it sure is convincing, right? It's a convincer, all right? So work on that for a second. I know that can be kind of tricky. I'm seeing a lot of folks getting it, which is really awesome, right? Seeing a lot of folks getting that one. That's a good, simple magic effect to do. Doesn't need any setup. And if you want to hand that rubber band to someone afterwards and say, if you want to check it out, you can. That's totally fine because it doesn't have anything. It actually isn't weird at all. It's just a regular rubber band. It's not what we call gimmicked at all. Right? A gimmick is something that's specially made for magic. It's not. It's just a regular rubber band, so you can give it to whoever you want. Okay? All right. Let's move on to the main event tonight, our mentalism, or those intuitive abilities that I have, and I'm going to use my paranormal brain to share with you this evening. Okay? Now, the first of those abilities that I'm going to share with you is the ability to predict the future. Who wouldn't like to predict the future, right? And I can predict the future, but unfortunately, I can only predict a few minutes at a time, which means that I can't really predict what's going to happen like next month or next year, unfortunately. I wish I could, because that would be really helpful for both me and Brian and Rachel, but I can't do that. I can only predict a few minutes into the future at a time, but it's still pretty cool, okay? So for this demonstration of my ability, I will need a volunteer, okay? Oh, fantastic. Thank you for volunteering if you are. I see, I think the name is Nadia. Okay, Nadia May Smith. Nadia, can you come off mute for me, please? Come off mute for me. Oh, she's got a whole system. Hello. Hello. How are you, Nadia? Am I saying your name right?
Yeah, you are.
That's great. I'm Annie. Welcome. Welcome to my magic school. Welcome to Creative Alliance. Nadia, thank you so much for volunteering. I am assuming you volunteered because you would like to see me predict the future. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, Nadia, you and I, all right, are going to be together for just a couple minutes, and I am going to just for a second, I'm going to see into the future. Okay, I've seen into the future, okay? But why would you believe me? So I need to make a prediction. I'm going to write down what it is that I saw in the future, okay? I'm going to write it down right now.
Okay.
Okay, just bear with me, Nadia. Okay. So that is my prediction, okay? And I'm going to fold that prediction, and I'm going to tuck it right here, and I'm not going to touch it again for the entire rest of the time that we're together, okay? You can see it right there. I'm not going to switch it out. I'm not going to do anything tricky with it. It's going to stay right there, okay? Can you see that, Nadia?
Yes, I can.
Okay, fantastic. All right, Nadia, do you see these objects on my table?
Yes, I do.
All right, good. So we have a candle, right?
Yes.
A length of rope, a ball, and a pepper shaker, okay?
Okay.
All right, so these are pretty easy to see. They're all different objects. Nadia, here's what I need you to do. I need you to choose 2 of these objects that you would like for me to pick up, that I'm allowed to pick up.
The rope and the ball.
The rope and the ball. Okay, great. All right. So Nadia, here we have the candle and the pepper shaker. Can you choose one of these objects for me?
Pepper shaker.
The pepper shaker. Great. All right. So Nadia, what do we have left here on the table?
A candle.
Okay, let's look at the prediction. Can you read what that says?
The candle will remain.
That's correct, right? So this was what I saw in the future. I saw the candle remaining on the table, right? Just like that. Now, Nadia, we didn't talk about this beforehand, right? I didn't say, hey, Nadia, when I call on you, you need to pick choose the candle to remain, right?
No.
No, Nadia was not a plant for us today. That is usually what people think is happening here, that we talked beforehand, but we didn't. Nadia, you were an amazing volunteer for me. Thank you so much. Who would like to learn how to do this trick and amaze your friends and family? Yeah, this is a really, really good one to do, okay? And this one has to do, of course, with the words that we're using. Magicians are very tricky with their words, all right? So, get your 4 objects up on your table, right? Doesn't matter what they are. You can even borrow them from the audience. That's kind of fun, right? You can borrow your audience members' keys, cell phones. Just use your powers for good, never for evil, okay? But you have your 4 objects on the table. So get them lined up. Make sure that the audience can see them, and make sure that they're all different enough from each other so that the audience doesn't get confused, okay? That's really important. Okay, great. So for this trick, we are using the mentalist's best friend, and it's called equivoke. This is the way it's spelled. It is not pronounced equivoque, though when you use it for magic, it is pronounced equivoke, okay? Just like that phonetic pronunciation down there below it, equivoke. Equivoke means a phrase that can be taken multiple ways, okay? So when I write down a prediction, so that's what you want to start with. You want to start with a prediction. So you write down one of the objects. It doesn't matter which one, trust me, okay? It doesn't matter which object you write down. Just write the blank will remain, the something will remain, one of your objects will remain. Does not matter which one. Trust me on this. Okay, so that's the first thing you have to do is write down your prediction. Okay, and after you've written down your prediction, make sure it stays somewhere that the audience can see it the whole time, or else they're going to think you just switched it out at the end to whatever they picked, right? So I put it here so that you guys could see it in the camera. I'm assuming that most of you are going to do these tricks with people in your house or that you know, so you can just put it on the table. But what's really important is that you don't touch it till the end of the trick, okay? So it's somewhere they can see that you don't touch until the end of the trick, okay? So that's the first step. In this trick, you're going to make a prediction. You're going to see into the future and make a prediction with one of the objects. Okay. Now, your mission from this point forward is to keep that object on the table, no matter what. You need to keep the object you predicted on the table, no matter what. And that, my friends, is equivoke. The magician's choice. The magician makes you think you have a free choice, but you never, ever do. It's a force, okay? I'm gonna ask Brian, my partner, to help me demonstrate this a little bit because it's easier with another person, okay? Hi, Brian.
Hi, Annie.
Okay, so Brian, the first thing I ask my volunteer, okay, is I ask them to choose 2 objects that they want me to pick up. Notice I did not say, choose 2 objects you would like me to remove, or choose 2 objects you would like me to keep on the table. I said, choose 2 objects you would like me to pick up, okay? That is important. Put that in your brain. Choose 2 objects you would like me to pick up. Brian, choose 2 objects you would like me to pick up.
The candle and the pepper.
The pepper. Okay, so now we know Brian has chosen my target object, the candle, the one that's in my prediction, right? So I've picked these up, but I didn't say choose 2 objects for me to remove or to keep. So he's had me pick these 2 up, so I get rid of these, right? He thinks that he made a choice, but I made a choice. I did not say 2 to remove or 2 to keep. So I've kept my candle on the table. I am succeeding at my mission. All right. So now, Brian, here at this point, I say, choose one of these objects. Notice the words that never leave my mouth. I never say choose one to remove or one to keep. I say choose an object. Brian, choose an object.
The candle.
The candle. Once again, he's chosen my target object. So whoop, we get rid of this and look at that. It is the candle that remains, right? But what would happen if we were here? Let's go back in time for a second. And Brian chose the pepper shaker, right? I say choose an object. He says the pepper shaker. Whoop, there it goes. And the candle will remain, right? So this whole thing and equivoke, it's about making the person think they have a choice when they never actually do. You are in control the entire time, right? What you really have to remember is, what do I need to do? What is my mission with this trick? Keep my object on the table. How do I do that? I use equivoke. I say vague statements that could mean one thing or the other. Choose 2 objects for me to pick up. Either pick them up and keep them, or pick them up and get rid of them, depending on if they're your target object or not. And then you say choose 1 object. Same thing. Get rid of it if it's not your target object. Keep it if it is, right? Okay. That is equivoke. And now that you know that, you'll see magicians use it everywhere. Right? Everywhere. I will definitely tell you something about this trick though. You shouldn't perform it for the same people twice. If you do that, they're going to get wise that you do different things based on their answers, right? So this is a really good one to do and then be mysterious and move on to another trick, right? Now, can they handle the objects? Yeah, sure. They're just objects. There's nothing really interesting about them. You're making them interesting, which is something cool about mentalism. It doesn't rely on too many gimmicks in order to make it work. Okay. All right. Let's see. At this point, it's 5:55. Okay. I think I should keep going because I would really like to teach the last effect. And then we're going to see if we have a few minutes. I would love to see someone try Equivoke or rubber bands or something like that for me, because this is kind of a shorter form class. Okay. All right. So that was predicting the future. All right. Now, the next skill we're going to see if Annie can actually do is a little bit harder than predicting the future, actually. This one is seeing through objects. Okay, so I'm going to use my third eye, right, in my brain to see through objects so that I can see what's on the other side. And to do that, I'm going to need to use some cards. Okay, those are going to be my objects this evening. All right, so I have my card deck here. Okay, it's a standard kind of card deck. What I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to shuffle it to ensure that it's random. Now, you guys are not sitting in front of me, but if you were, I might give it to an audience member in order to shuffle it. But we want to make sure that the deck actually is random. I can do it again because I went away. Okay, let's shuffle it. This is called the Riffle to Cascade shuffle that I did right there. It's a very common one that you might see even in card games. Okay. All right. So now I have my deck of cards here, and I'm going to just split this deck of cards into 3 smaller decks by cutting the cards, just like this. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to use my special abilities, all right, to see through the cards, okay, to see through the cards. So I am going to predict that this first card, I'm going to see through it. It's a little hard. I'm a little rusty, but I think it's a diamond, and I'm pretty sure it's the 6 of diamonds, okay? Pretty sure it's the 6 of diamonds on the top. So I'm going to write that down on my pad so that everybody remembers. I'm not going to touch the card yet, so that it's written right there. That is what I predicted, the 6 of diamonds, okay? All right, so, all right. All right, so we have the 6 of diamonds. Okay, all right. So that was a true prediction, right? That is the 6 of diamonds, and this is the 6 of diamonds. Okay, that wasn't bad, all right? Not too bad. Cool. Okay, so let's see if I can do it a little bit harder this time, right? So that was good. I was a little bit rusty before. So let's see if I can do it again. And let's see if I can do it not just 1 time, but 3 times this time. Okay, so once again, we're going to shuffle our decks. This. Shuffle the decks up. All right. So. Okay. Same thing. Okay. All right. So I'm a little more confident now. Okay. I'm going to say this one is the Ace of Hearts. Okay, this one is the 3 of Spades, and this one is the Jack of Spades. Not super sure about that one, but we'll see. All right, and actually, I have predicted it, right? Ace of Hearts, 3 of Spades, and the Jack of Spades, just like that, okay? Ace of Hearts, 3 of Spades, Jack of Spades, right off the top. Okay, so my powers have come back to me. That's all good, all right? So this one is a really fun one, again, to do for a party or for people. I did a little bit of a 2-phase one there just to make sure that I could do this one in front of it, folks, and it worked on the Zoom. But we can go straight to the harder one. We can go to the final phase there, where you can actually see through the top card and predict it from a random deck. Now, secret to magic, when a magician says that the deck is random, it never is, almost, okay? So what it is I need to start this effect. I have to start with a piece of known information. I have to know what's in one of those piles for this to work, Okay, so I know I've taken the ace of hearts and I've put it face down on the top of my card deck. So everybody go ahead and find their ace of hearts. This will be easier if you go ahead and do it with me so that you can find it, right? The ace of hearts, find the ace of hearts and place it on the top of your deck. Okay. Now you know it's there. You know it's there because you put it there. I use the ace of hearts because it's easy to remember, right? It's a card that's easy for me to remember. So what I do though to convince a convincer that the card is random is I will do a false shuffle. This is easy if you know how to riffle shuffle generally, okay? To riffle shuffle, the deck gets cut in half, right? And it goes like this. Now I know that my ace of hearts is on the top here. So when I get to the top, you see how I'm holding back this little pack of cards and I'm going to let it fall right on the top. Okay. You think it's shuffled, but of course the ace still remains on the top because I held back that top card, right? I'm just going to hold it back so it falls on the top still, and the Cascade is there. So it's still there. That's a very easy kind of false shuffle, all right? But Annie, I hear you asking, what if I can't shuffle? What if that shuffle is too hard to do? Can I still do this trick? And the answer is yes. Yes, you can. If that shuffle is too hard to do, you can do what's called a false cut. Okay, so when I do a false cut, my ace is on the top, right? And I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna mix up the deck. I'm just gonna cut it a few times, right? And I cut it 3 times so that my ace is still on the top over here, right? And then I just kind of put it back together like that, and they think it's cut and mixed up, but there she is right on the top, right? That's another way you can do it. You can say, I'm gonna just, all right, we're gonna cut the deck a few times and make sure these are all mixed up. Great, wonderful, and there it is right on the top. Okay, so make sure that your ace stays on the top because you need that information. So either you're going to do a false shuffle with the riffle or you're going to do a false cut. But either way, the audience thinks the deck is mixed up, but we know that the ace of hearts is still right on the top. That is important. Okay, all right. So now we're going to do this. We're going to cut the deck. Okay, we're going to lift off some and then lift off some more, okay, until we have 3 piles. I'm going to do that one more time because it's important. You have your ace on the top, you've got your cards, you're going to cut the deck twice so that we know our ace of hearts is over here. Okay, it's in this 3rd pile. So everybody show me your ace of hearts in the 3rd pile. It should be over here. Okay, because we're learning. Good, Mike. Yes. All right. Fantastic. So now we do another mentalism, famous mentalism move called the 1 ahead. The 1 ahead means I am always 1 ahead of you. Okay. So the first pile, I am going to say this one is the ace of hearts. It's not, right? This one's the 8 of spades. That's okay, right? So my first time, I always say, all right, I see the ace of hearts. And I pick it up and I look, and I see the 8 of spades. The next one, I'm going to say, okay, this one's the 8 of spades. And I'm going to pick it up. It's not. It's the 4 of clubs, but they don't know that yet, right? So then I'm going to go, okay, this one is the 4 of clubs. It's not. It's the ace of hearts. But that means that I've said every one that I have in my hand. When I turn it around, it looks like it's in the right order. Ace of hearts, right? 4 of clubs, and the 8 of spades, okay? So they think I've called it correctly when I was 1 ahead the whole time, right? All right, let's go over that one more time because this one can be kind of until you get it, right? All right. So what I've done is I've put my ace of hearts right on the top. Okay, there she is. I'm going to do a false ruffle or, right. Hi, Sava. Nice to see you. More students joining from Hampstead Hill. Love to see it. All right. Or I'm going to do a false cut or both, right? Depending on if I'm feeling sassy. Okay. So now we have our ace still on the top. She's still on the top, right? And we're going to cut the deck 3 times across the table so that our ace on the top ends up in the 3rd pile. And now we're going to see through the top card. I predict this one is the ace of hearts. Always start with your known card, okay? I predict this one is the 2 of hearts, right? And I predict that this one is the king of spades, right? And I turn it around, right there, ace of hearts, 2 of hearts, king of spades, right? So it looks like you've predicted them correctly when in fact you knew the last one the whole time and you kind of just rearranged the order when you turn it around. Okay, and that is one ahead. Once again, now that you know this, mentalists and magicians use this technique all the time, right? The one ahead, they'll know one piece of information and call the others as they see them, right? This is a common mentalism technique. It was used by Mr. Johnny Carson quite a bit when he was doing magic on his show. That's what I can remember. That was pretty famous, all right? So now we've gotten to the time in our class where there is just a couple minutes, and I'm going to ask if anyone would like to perform any of these effects. Now, I have some of my students from classes, and I know that they are really good performers, so they could probably do it. If no one wants to do it, that's okay, right? I see Nadia's got her hand like right in the air. She's ready to go. I would love to see which one she is going to perform for us right now. Nadia, you can come off mute or you can do it silently if you'd like. I see Elia too. You would like to do one? That's awesome, Elia. Hold on just a second there. Nadia, we're going to go to you first. Okay, so which effect from tonight are you going to be performing?
The psychic one.
Wow, the psychic one. Okay, so, Equivoke?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Oh, wow, okay. I will be your participant, Nadia. What are the objects that you have?
A piece of string.
Uh-huh.
A keychain.
Okay.
A pencil.
Mm-hmm.
A rubber band.
Fantastic. Okay, Nadia, go ahead and make your prediction.
Okay.
The suspense.
Now, choose one item for me to pick up.
I choose the string.
I did something wrong.
That's okay. Go back and fix it.
Okay. My items are a sticky note,
Okay.
a pencil,
Okay.
a piece of string,
Got it.
and the keychain.
Okay.
Let me just.
Okay.
Okay. Choose 2 items for me to pick up.
I choose the sticky notes and the pencil.
Okay. Choose 1 item for me to pick up.
I choose the sticky notes.
My sticky note says that the sticky notes will remain.
Fantastic. Wonderful. And if everyone wants to clap, this is how we clap at School of Magic Arts, because it's how we clap when we can't hear anything. Nadia, that was amazing and really well done to correct our mistakes as we go along. Magic takes a lot of practice. Elia would like to perform for us this evening. Elia, which one are you going to be performing? You can go ahead and take yourself off mute. Miss Rachel, you might recall these cards Elia's using. Her gifted card. Elia, are you doing one ahead? She is.
This one is the 7th. Sorry.
There you go. Good.
This one is the 7 of diamonds.
Okay.
This one is the 6 of spades. This one is the 4 of clovers.
That's it. Very good, Elia. Very nice. That last suit is the clubs. Yeah, that's awesome. Very good, Elia. Thank you so much. All right, I think I have time for like one more performance. If anybody wants to do jumping rubber band for us, who can do the jumping rubber band? Nadia can, but let's see if there's anyone else who can do it. I do see Cora and Miguel. Can you guys do the jumping rubber band? Yeah? All right, let's see it. Let's see it. This one's a little tricky, but I think they got it. Little sibling help here. That's so cute. All right. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Oh, very nice. That was very good, Cora. Wow, look at her tiny hands too. She can do it. If she can do it, everybody should be able to do that one. Guys, thank you so much for having me here tonight. I'm hopeful that everyone goes and does these tricks for someone in your house, for mom, for dad, for friends, for anyone. These effects are really good to do also on Zoom as we did it. So if you aren't really seeing people right now, but you are on your Zoom doing your calls or your meetings or your school stuff, this is a really delightful thing. Like I said before, Brian, wave Brian. There's Brian. He's going to be doing a whole card magic class. So if you really liked the last trick, especially because it was kind of a cardy thing, even though it was a mentalism card magic effect, which is kind of weird. But if you really like cards, you should come back for Brian's class. He'll do the jumping rubber band again. So he might even pick someone that was here to demonstrate it if you were here tonight, right? And all you need, I think, for Brian's class tomorrow are your rubber bands and your cards. Okay, he might even do a little bit of a different rubber band thing and show you a little bit of a different way if you came tonight, because there's a bunch of things that you can do for rubber bands. I'm going to turn it back over to Miss Rachel for our last minute in case she has any announcements or anything like that.
Can we just do a big virtual round of applause for Miss Annie? That was so fun, right? She's the best. She's the best. I just posted in our chat Brian's flyer tomorrow. There is a different Zoom link for that. You can also find that on the Creative Alliance website for parents, and I'll be posting that on our Creative Alliance Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. So that's Brian's class tomorrow, and check out their website. It's I also just posted that, schoolofmagicarts.com. Because they do a lot more cool stuff than this. So please go to their website as well. thanks for joining us. It was nice to see all of your lovely faces, and we hope to see you tomorrow. This was so much fun. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.